a lot to like get people to a comedy show, particularly one that's just full of ladies. And I mentioned to a guy friend of mine that I was doing a comedy show that was going to be all female comics, and his immediate response was, "So you're just going to talk about periods?" Challenge accepted. Because this poor guy was like, "Damn it. Oh, I knew it." No, we're not all going to talk about, let's unpack that reaction for a second. Yeah, like more than 4 women gather in a place and you're like, well, I know what they're gonna be chit-chatting about. That'd be like if a bunch of dudes got together and talked about getting kicked in the nuts slowly over about a week and also you're bleeding. You're not gonna talk about it. Keep that to yourself. No, I railed against the lady comic like label for a little while because I was like, no, we're just comics and you're a comic and I'm a comic. But I've come to realize that we do have some like fundamental, men and women have some fundamental different like ways we have to see the world. And nothing has made this clearer to me than a tale about public nudity and public masturbation. I was in grad school last year out in Seattle, and please don't clap. Don't! Oh gosh, you guys. So when you're in like grad school or whatever kind of college you're in, you get emails from public safety sometimes, right? And they're always like, oh, so-and-so got mugged, right? Yeah. So-and-so got mugged on like, 1 a.m., stay together, don't walk where she walked. And the advice that usually comes out of these letters is like, hey ladies, pro tip, you're going out, leave your vaginas at home. Because they're safer that way. Oh boy, don't worry, there's like more to it after that. So there was one like very upsetting email. There was one guy who was like kind of a serial problem, and he was wearing a trench coat, he was hiding on campus, and he would like jump out of bushes and masturbate at people. Because he was just living the dream. And we were like, oh God, that's gross. Like, why would you ever do that? And it sparked a conversation of, well, what would you do if that happened to you? Like, you're walking through campus and like this guy jumps out and he's masturbating at you. And it was so sad. All my friends were like, well, I just still gotta go to my thing. Still gotta get out of here. And I brought this up with a guy friend. I was like, no women ever do this. Like, this is a guy thing. Because men can masturbate at, and women have to masturbate about. Very fundamental difference. And he was like, oh gosh, I wish this would happen. I'm waiting for it. Which is gross and hopefully not true, but I realized in that moment, like, oh, a guy can be so crazy. Like, I'm gonna put a trench coat on. I'm gonna go outside. No other clothes under the trench coat. I'm gonna get in the bushes. They won't see me there. I'm gonna start masturbating. And when I see a particularly attractive lady, I'm gonna jump out and surprise her. And a guy can get through all those crazy stages, but a woman, if she were crazy enough to have all those little steps together, would at the last minute jump out and have to be like, oh, but don't get raped. Wait, pick 'em careful. It's kind of a bummer. So it's summertime, guys. Getting trim for summer, and I got a diet tip for you. It's 2 diet tips. First diet tip: don't ever wash your jeans. They stretch out, and you are skinny. Diet tip number 2: when you're ordering food, I do this. You can borrow it. Some of you probably already do it. When you're ordering like an embarrassing amount of food, an amount of food you're not proud of. Maybe you're at Chipotle, maybe you're at some place that sells donuts, and you're not gonna have just one. You're not gonna have just two, because donuts are worth trying a bunch. So you order a couple, and you do this little move where you pretend somebody else is also gonna have what you're ordering. And it goes kind of like this. Okay, can I have the, I'll have the chocolate and the tres leches. And, oh gosh, what was their favorite one? They don't have a favorite one. There is no them. It's for you. I traced back this like food embarrassment. I feel like we all have weird quirks and we all kind of know like, oh, I know when that started. And I traced the food embarrassment back to a trip to Friendly's. And Friendly's, if you don't know, is like a diner, but like ice cream treatery place. It's the kind of place that's like just nice enough that the patrons are there on purpose and the staff is there by accident. Like everyone's like, oh, it's okay, we'll go to Friendly's. And the staff is like, ah, shit. Something went wrong in their life, and this is where they ended up. So I went to Friendly's with like 4 or 5 of my friends back in the day, and we were, all of us were under 20. So when you get like 5 or so girls together and you're all under 20, you can't make any decisions. Whatever you guys want to do. What? No, I'm not even like really hungry. Like, what do you guys want? So we go to Friendly's. I was hungry. Honest to goodness, I was actually hungry. And so everyone sits, and it's the same kind of phenomenon where like when you stand out in front of a bar and like nobody can decide where to go next. You're like, well, whatever you guys want. Yeah. It's like, it was fun last week, but like whatever the group wants, we don't have to go there. It's that kind of move, but it's happening around the table. It's like, I could share fries. Like, I like mozzarella sticks, like, oh my gosh, like I already ate mozzarella sticks once this year. So, can't have them again. So everyone orders like some little Sharesies apps, and I order like a normal thing, like a sandwich. And the waitress had it in for me from the beginning, because she brings all the little Sharesies apps, and then 6.5 minutes later, once everyone's almost done snacking, brings me my like giant sandwich and plate of fries. And so I do what I'm contractually obligated to do, which is, oh my gosh, I can't even eat all of these. You guys, like, please have some fries. Please, oh my goodness. Please. Have you seen how many fries? So it's fine. I'm already a little embarrassed, but okay. And then she comes, she clears all the plates, and she's like hovering near me, and we're doing like, oh, thanks, we're all set. And she looks right at me, and she goes, you have a sundae coming. My thing came with a sundae. Yeah. I didn't know. But she doesn't say it like that. She says, you have a sweet treat happy ending sundae coming, because it's Friendly's and you gotta say stuff like that. So I'm embarrassed, and she goes, what kind of ice cream do you want? I'm not embarrassed enough to not have it. That's what's important here, is I'm having it, okay? Know that in your hearts. So she's like, what kind of ice cream do you want? So I do the reasonable thing, which is I look at the menu and I pick out a good flavor, guys, and I point to it and I say this one. And when I point to it, I actually said peanut butter. When you point to something on a menu and you don't say the name of it, your mouth doesn't mean anything anymore. Your finger is God, and they know that. There is a contract between you and the waitstaff, and they're bringing you the thing you point at. So I point, and she goes, what? And I'm like, the peanut butter fudge? And she goes, we got a lot of ones with peanut butter and fudge. Right? So finally, I muster up my courage, and I say the name of it because I felt like she slapped me and was like, say it! And so I say, the Hunka Chunka PB fudge, and then I ate it.